love bugs. Thanks for coming back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back and spending some of your time with Wilma this Wednesday. And before we get into it, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, engage. We're trying to build this up. I'm trying to make sure that I do this consistently and doing better at it as I've done previously. I've been doing really, really well. So therefore, let's keep this going. Okay? Okay. All right. Cool beans. This week, I will be dehauling some books from my library. I need to make space, and I was told by that man I married, I will not be able to buy another bookshelf. So I gotta make do. And my TBR cart is already full to capacity, so I got to do something. You guys showed up and showed out for my birthday, so I have a bunch of brand new books that I need to make space. And then bookoutlet.com was having a sale, and I had a gift card, and I brought some books. Hashtag girl math, free money. So yeah, I need to make some space. ASAP because that book haul is coming soon. It's in transit. Um, so yeah, we need to make some space ASAP. Like Rocky, beat the charges. Amen. Um, so we definitely need to make some space. So let's get into the first few books and why we're getting rid of them. Starting with some books that I'm gonna dehaul because I want to gift them forward to a friend of mine. This was one of my favorite reads of 2024, The Whispers. It was like a psychological thriller. Well, psychological a thriller. I wouldn't say psychological. It wasn't like, oh, it's a who done it and why type of thing. I think I'm gonna just gift this forward to one of my coworkers who is really interested in it. I gotta check and see and make sure she hasn't brought it yet. But if she has it, this one's coming your way, Sam. But yeah, other than that, I've read it. It was really, really good, and I know that she was interested in it when I was reading it. So other than that, it just needs to find a new home. Um, and that's where we're going. Not because I didn't like it, but would want to gift it forward. The next book I will be dehauling is It's Just a Fucking Date, some sort of book about dating by Greg Bennerhart and Amira Rutella. I like that it gives both like women and male perspective. Greg is also a writer from He's Just Not Into You, the book and the movie, as well as Sex and the City. It was a lot of funny, comprehensive dating advice. And really, it's just mostly like standards, expectations, knowing the difference, getting some, and a lot of like really fun exercises. So, with that being said, I really, really want to gift this to a friend of mine who's just out there about to start dating again, and I really, really love that for her. So I want to gift this over to this person so they can read it. Hopefully they enjoy it the way I enjoy it, and that's why it's being dehauled. The next book I'm dehauling is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. I did not like this book. I tried it, I read it a few times, and it was just like meh to me in the scope of self help and all that other stuff. And it was just like, I can do without. So this is probably going to go to like a Goodwill bin or some sort, but really didn't care for it. So that's why it has to go. The next book I'm going to be dehauling is The Other Bird by Sarah Addison Allen. I mean, beautiful cover. I brought it about a year ago, never cared to look at it. It just I was reading the back before like filming, and it has something to do with like some type of mystery, but I was bored from just I'm sorry, Sarah. Don't sorry to this woman. Don't know this woman. Can identify her if you wanted it to, but like I just never really like gravitated to pick it up once I've purchased it. So back home I saw that they had a free library little nook thing. I'm probably gonna put it in there. And hopefully it finds a new home and a reader because it's literally collecting dust on my shelf. My final D haul is gonna be a few books by Sister Soldier, author, activist, excuse me. The first one's No Disrespect, which is her memoir, and I believe it's up to where she wrote her first book, The Coldest Winter Ever. It was a really, really good read. I loved reading about her upbringing, how she mobilized, because she's not just an author and activist, especially during the 80s and the 90s. Um, just all the things that she's done, the things that has happened to her, um, the accountability that she took for a lot of like actions, because it wasn't just this like transcendence into like who she is. Like she talks about a lot of the mistakes she's made, some people she's hurt. I can like relate to those themes. So definitely I'm going to be putting that in the little public library. And then the other books are like the installments from The Coldest Winter Ever. I read all of them, and to be honest, once you start getting into like the midnight books, it starts to get real fantastical, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, especially when you go from like the first installment to everything else. I don't know. I read them and it was just like, what? Like, yeah, no, I just don't see this. And then so I'll be de-hauling Life After Death, which I believe is the last installment. I think this came out like 2 years ago. And then both of the Midnight series books. Um, yeah, I couldn't get with the choices that she allowed for him to make, and just this strict moral code, and like I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. Either way, be de-hauling those books. Also, if you know me in real life, excuse me, and you want any of these books, let me know. I'll drop them off. I'll do a drive-by. Let me know. Thank you for spending some of your Wednesday con Wilma. I really appreciate all of the time that you spend on my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and engage. Next week, hopefully, if that new shipment is in, we will be doing a haul of that purchase and see what books I got to replace some spaces from this D haul.